Hey guys, today we are going to be talking all about Bunnix and a theory I have on what her possible role could be in the upcoming season. And speaking about next season, Lube has gone on to share a post on their Instagram saying that if they hit 250,000 comments under their latest post, they will reveal the release date for season 5 and along with that, premiere the first episode. By the time this video is up, I guarantee we've already passed the goal and I can't believe season 5 is just around the corner. And so as always, before we get into today's video, be sure to subscribe so you never miss the tea on the show you love. Now, let's get into it. So I think one of the most notable things when it comes to Bunnix in last season is that she never once appeared, which was shocking considering with season 4 being the season it was, with identity reveals happening back to back, every miraculous being used, and secrets being spilled, we would have assumed she'd appear at some point, but she didn't, which ultimately did make a lot of sense. As stated in Time Tagger, Bunnix is only called for when everybody else fails, including both Ladybug and Cat Noir. And in instances like Ephemeral, where we're left thinking Bunnix is the last hope, we come to learn and remember that the Kwamis too share their unique powers on their own, and Bunnix wasn't needed after all. Speaking about the Kwamis, I wanted to talk about a common theme that was brought up throughout all of season 4, and that being us seeing the Kwamis using their powers on their own. We know that when a Kwami does so, there always happens to be consequences, like with Trix and the Eiffel Tower, Flag and the dinosaurs, Tiki and Dearest Family, and so on. The only way these things have ever been able to be resolved was with Ladybug. But if worst case scenario happened, I often wonder if Bunnix would step in, bringing me to dive deeper into my theory that revolves around episode 10 and 11 of season 5, Transmission and Deflagration, aka the Kwami's Choice. So going into this upcoming season, we can expect to see majority of the Kwamis except for Tiki, Plague, and Dusu all being held captive with Gabriel, and based off of the season 4 titles having to do with certain Kwamis and their powers, we can assume that within those episodes we will get a chance to see those Miraculouses being used. As Cat Noir goes to say in the season 4 finale, we're going to get them back one by one, meaning to me that this is something they'll be able to handle on their own for the most part, in terms of retrieving the Miraculous. However, with this 2-part episode happening so early on in the season, and hinting that multiple Kwamis will be a part of this reminds me of the episode Sandboy, and the possibility of seeing this Kwami gathering again. As explained in Sandboy, in order for this to happen, it must be a Kwami's birthday or cycle, and the Kwamis need to be inside of the miracle box, meaning that the Kwamis from Gabriel's side wouldn't be able to partake in it, since he never actually got a hold of the box, but whichever Kwamis Ladybug and Cat Noir have come to retrieve in that period of time, they can participate in this. If this were to also happen during the episode Transmission, and in this case, let's assume that Nuru was finally taken back into the right hands, how interesting would it be to see this parallel where while the first time it was them needing to be saved, them as in Nuru, this way it could be the other way around, meaning Nuru could partake in the gathering. Another thought that came into my mind was actually the opposite of the previous one I just mentioned, and it was more so a sacrifice from Nuru's end. The reason I say this is because not only is the episode titled Transmission, meaning we can possibly expect Nuru to play a bigger role, but also I can't see Gabriel without Nuru just yet. And for the whole rest of the season, especially if this season's the ending of the Agrest arc. And whether Nuru does get the chance to be retrieved at some point, considering we know from Time Tagger that there will be a future user for the Butterfly Miraculous, in the end it could only be a temporary thing. Either way, I definitely don't think that it'll be the last time we see the Kwamis hold a gathering like that again, as while the first time we saw it take place it didn't go according to plan, nothing is a coincidence in Miraculous, nor introduced to us for just any reason, so only time will tell when they might just do it again and for why. Now, the reason I brought that up in a theory like this and a video where I'm more so focusing on Bunnix is actually because of the resemblance I noticed between the flooring pattern and Alex's watch. watch. Again, ever so rarely will something actually be a coincidence in Miraculous, but in a case like this where this season will heavily revolve around the Kwamis and possibly Alex/Bunnix's big return and moment, I see the two possibly coming hand in hand. Something else to note is that the very first episode of this season is titled Evolution, which happens to be no other than Fluff's power. And considering towards the end of season 4, we had received confirmation that the finale would continue into season 5 and/or pick up from where we left off, I definitely think the first episode of season 5 could start off with a bang, whether that involving Alex finally receiving her very own Miraculous and/or being told the secret, or generally just revolving around Fluff for the time being. I cannot wait to see how and what goes down. And lastly, to add on to this theory, another way in which I thought of how Alex/Bunnix could make an appearance in this season would be something having to revolve around Adrian. Now, you guys know that I believe Adrian is a senti monster, and with season 5 being the end of the Aggressed arc, with that, I wonder if something severely wrong could go down between the senti twins, and more so Adrian, in which would result in Alex/Bunnix having to step in. Marinette/Ladybug knows that one day she will have to tell Alex this secret and give her the Miraculous, and it'll be up to her when she feels the time is right. And with a theory I'll be further discussing in another video, I wonder too if Bunnix would be needed in the case of explaining Cat Blanc to Cat Noir with Ladybug. But as always, what do you guys think? I know this theory was kind of all over the place just because I feel like there's so many possibilities and directions in which it could go and how Alex makes her appearance this season, but nonetheless, I'm so excited to hear what it is you guys think and whether or not you feel this season will finally be Alex's time. I feel like if it is, we could get a possible tease of her in the new intro for season 5 and maybe even in the trailer, but only time will tell. As always, be sure to let me know your thoughts and theories down below and subscribe so you never miss the tea on the show you love. And I'll see you guys in the next one.